Good morning, what is going on, everybody? This is not going too well.
Order filled.
Okay, we got hacked. We got hit. So if we're gonna break the orb on Nas, we need to look for longs. Okay. So we just broke the orb. We're still holding Bitcoin, XRP, and ETH. So we're breaking this resistance right now. Hey. I'm also worried we're gonna let's wait and watch. Maybe right here at the VWAP. Make sure my microphone's on.
Order
Boom.
filled.
Boom. We have news today. Come on. Come on. There we go.
Order filled.
Oh shit. We did break out of the trend line. There we go. past this green line, the orb. We need to get above that. There we go. There we go. Good morning, Marcel. Closing it on Apex. Should have held it. Yep. Okay, we'll close the Apex one. Also, we are in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP right now. Uh-oh.
Order filled. We closed one of them. There it goes. Should have held it. Oh, I'm holding this one, but on this account, I should have held it. Acting like it's gonna break down. What the? Let's see something. almost there. Close it. So to get this one too. Okay, crypto's booming. Gonna make it. There it goes. There it goes. Here it comes.
Order filled.
Closing it. Okay, guys. We just hit some bangers. Okay. I will be back. I gotta let my dogs outside real quick. Or walk them. I will be back. I will be back. Give me just a moment, guys. Give me a moment. I'll be back. I am back. I'm back. We are in. I just randomly caught this right when I got back. Bitcoin, ETH, and XRPs.
The Bitcoin market is actually open. If you follow again, I say I have a lot of respect for him. He's actually a very good trader. He says, see you in 4 years. The bull market's over if we close 2 days below 110,000. All the idiots with their 5K come on and read that, but you kind of get what he's saying. He's not the only one that's saying that, right? Look at Peter Brandt. Peter Brandt says that he said a few days ago, August 15th, which was 10 days ago before this correction, he said there is a 30% chance that we've actually topped in the cycle. Now they're using these charts, which are maybe parallels of these charts over here, right? They're taking the Bitcoin uptrend on the weekly, and they're kind of going, look, there's this trend line that's been going since it's actually been going since about there 2016, and Bitcoin fell to break it convincingly, and so now it's going to be the biggest breakdown of all times. And if you look at it on the charts only, I kind of agree with him that there is a chance that the cycle is going to break down, and then we could put in could go down to like 50s or 60s if their thesis is right. But having been here for multiple cycles, I can tell you that this
Not a whole lot going on today, guys.
cycle tops do not feel like this. Cycle tops are full of exuberance. Cycle tops are full of euphoria. Cycle tops are full of amazing indicators that tell you that it's a cycle top. None of those indicators are flashing. And it's not only for me that the indicators are flash. You can kind of see it. This is what we call the CBBI. The CBBI is a combination of 9 other indicators, right? And usually when this goes above like 90, 95, that is when the cycle tops. Right now it's basically indicating that we're in the last part of the cycle, and it's on 77. And that correlates with a whole lot of other measurements, a lot of them of which like people like Ben Carter using. So you look at this indicator over here. This indicator over here also telling you the valuation versus the trend line. It doesn't feel as heated as say 2017 and 2021. And even if you take a downward sloping trend line from here to here to here, you should get somewhere there before we get top. So it doesn't feel right now like we're anywhere near a top. If you look at the YouTube views, retail haven't even arrived yet. You look at fear and greed, we didn't get to extreme fear, extreme greed. You look at the Coinbase ranking on the App Store, we know that the Coinbase app needs to get to like close to number 1 for market tops. We're on 322. Okay, so we're nowhere near the top of the cycle. So anyone who tells you that it's the top of the cycle, give them my number and I'll take them a bet. 5 to 1 odds was the bet that I was willing to take this morning. Researchers just tell me in the group, did we take the bet? Did we? I don't remember what the outcome of the thing is, but it's not a market top. But I do believe that we're about to get a proper direction. And if it doesn't come this week, that's probably what's not going to happen. It's probably going to go up again before we actually get this correction. And this correction is going to bring us down to levels where the market starts actually feeling pain. Because a correction is not a correction until or unless market participants actually start changing their behaviors through feeling some kind of pain. Right now, there's very little pain on the timeline. What I think is going to happen is, I think Bitcoin is going to break down a little bit further. And as you can see, when you look at charts like
Thursday, we got GDP, unemployment claims.
This hasn't started to break upwards properly yet. What's going to happen is, right now people are okay. I think that when Bitcoin breaks the bull market support band, which is at about 108k. So when you look at the bull market support band, I think I've got a chart for us here, and you break below the 108k, then the next level of support is this, it's an SMA 50, and that's at 95. By the time it probably gets it, it'll be at 98 or 99. What I think is going to happen, I think in the next couple of days, maybe a week or so, we're going to break down below this bull market support band. The market could start getting a bit more nervous. We're then going to start heading towards 100k. And I think that the end of the capitulation will actually come at when we break close to the 100k, or maybe even break slightly under, and people realize, shit, we actually can break below the 100k with Bitcoin. And so for me, before I deploy any of my capital into this correction, because I know it's the last correction, I need the ETH price to break down, which is not currently doing. And I need to see some kind of fear in it. Now, it might not happen in this leg of the correction. We may bounce maybe to 113, 114.
Order filled.
I'm not touching any buying levels this correction until such time as my thesis actually plays out.
That was a horrible trade.
I'm only going to deploy capital when I think there's real opportunities. Real opportunities are only going to come when there's real fear. Right now, there ain't no real fear. And so I'm not going to start deploying capital here, right? And the truth is, I want to caution you guys, because you have people like Tom Lee, who is, he's basically the kingmaker of the market. He's the Michael Saylor of the whole business, because he's buying ETH and he's raised all this stock market money to buy ETH. And he keeps almost indicating that,
Order filled.
I'll support you with this mission. Because when
like it.
The biggest whale is going to get much away. It's as simple as that. And so don't buy into this, oh, don't worry, Tom Lee will save us. How can these go down when all these treasury companies have? Because let me tell you that no matter how big this whale is right now, he's not going to be able to swim against the market the time. I promise you, I've seen this a million times. And he's going to get washed away just like everybody else gets washed away.
Not very great
right now,
looking.
For me, is not the time to deploy. Why? We're nowhere in fear and greed. We're in neutral. Neutral is not a time to be deploying. We deploy when there is fear and peak fear, and we take profits when there's greed or peak greed. And that's pretty simply how I'm going to do it. I do believe we're in the midst of a correction. I do believe that we need to let this play out. Maybe it's not going to be the worst correction in the world. Why? Because if you look at the average pullbacks,
So this is where we're currently. Bitcoin, you guys see this trend line. This trend line.
So, if you're not
This is actually off a little. It's more like that. My bad. So if we can get above this trend line, guys.
In the last part of the cycle, where you like theoretically on your last cash right now, you want to make sure that you've got good capital. You want to deploy your capital into very, very good things. So that's where I stand in the correction now. Look again. I want to get to the next part of the show.
This
But
will
before I do, I have to make
be
it
resistance now. But if we can get above that trend line, I mean, look at the money flow. We got divergence. Volume is looking better and better.
Someone in the beginning of the show said, if only we could have caught this CRO up before it actually happened. And the truth is, you could have ended up making a shitload of cash. You want to know how much cash you could have made? Well, it's pretty simple, right? This is when we caught the CRO up. We didn't catch it when the insiders caught it. We literally caught it a millisecond afterwards. And we're in from 0.17, so 17 cents. And I want to show you how we got it. So I think it's important that you understand how this works. So there is a facet of trading which is called news trading. And you can hear my news trading terminal actually shooting off in the background. And I'm actually caught up on my news trading terminal so you can actually see it. This is what they call a news trading terminal. And every time, let me actually get it up for you guys so that you guys can see it. So, let me get it up. I'm playing with so many windows here. Alright, so this is a news trading terminal. What does it do? Effectively, what it does is it updates news in milliseconds from multiple reliable sources. So we have an AI that knows who the reliable sources and who are the unreliable sources. And it filters and it gets you only the reliable sources up on the screen, right? And every time that it beeps, it gives you the news that is actually breaking. Now, I want to just quickly go back to try and find the CRO news, when the CRO news actually broke. Let's just think about how far back the CRO news. You can see there's been a lot of news actually breaking out in the cycle. It was before this. I was actually watching it when it actually broke. And another guy's here we go. So you've got reports of Trump buying CRO. Hold on a second, let's just go here. I'm going to try and find the first one. Trump is integrate CRO tokens on his true social platform. Trump, you see all the CRO news actually started to break from multiple sources a while back.
Pump today.
Here it is.
This is crypto.com.
$6.42 billion of CRO. Now you can see that news came out. Let's just see when that news came out. That news came out right over here. You see where this little dot is right over here? Now the way that a news terminal is set up, your trades are pre-programmed in the multiples that you want to trade. And so when the news comes out, it beeps like it's been beeping. And then I want to show you how, I'm going to try and get into a trade. I'm going to get out very quickly because I don't actually know if I've got money in this account. But I want to show you something. So as this news came out, what I could have done is just hit this button. Now look, in one click, look at this. Okay, position successfully opened. Now I'm long CRO. Okay, now if I want to sell, because it's negative news. Okay, I'm out. Now, you get how this is working. This is feeding the news with milliseconds delay, and the way that it's programmed is, look, 342 milliseconds delay from the time this news came out to the time that you got it. And when you want to trade, like let's say I want to trade Bitcoin and ETH because this piece of news was relevant to Bitcoin ETH and I wanted to buy some Bitcoin, the time for me to get out I'm in. Okay? And it shows me all my open positions and it shows me on the dots exactly where I'm going. Then I just quickly trade out. That is what you call news trading. And if you are a good news trader, we've got some good news traders on the team, they make life-changing money. Why? Because what they do is they pre-program their trade. Just like I've pre-programmed my one trade is $1,000. My other trade is $10,000, and they both, I've set them on 10x leverage, right? And I've set market slippage. You can do your own thing. I can change this to $5,000. I'm not going to, because if I do, the problem is that if I do press the button, then I go back to terminal. And so now the terminal is reloading my new settings, and as the alpha comes out, with every click, I get an alert, and with every before anybody else takes a trade, within milliseconds. And that is what you call news trading. Now, why am I talking to you about news trading today? So we've launched our very own news trading terminal. This is the news trading terminal. It's called 247 Terminal. 247 is a brand for people that are exceptionally 24/7 on all the time and obsessed. If you are that kind of news trader or that kind of crypto person, this is the only tool that you actually need. Because every single bit of news comes here and you can trade out. Bang, boomer, I could now trade. There's news that came out. Okay, I'm not going to trade this news. There was another piece of news that I traded earlier. I'll show you the trade. Here is the trade over here. There was a news on Resolve, and literally 1.76% in a matter of 3 seconds, you can actually land up making. So we've launched our own news terminal. It's called 247 Terminal. And that's what the terminal homepage looks like. You download a terminal, you can actually use a terminal. Normal news terminals, just so you know, cost about $500 or $600, and very, very, very few of them are actually available for retail investors. There's some more news. Should we see what the news is? You see that it becomes addictive. Bang. Every time news comes out, you actually get it becomes an addictive sound because you know that you actually want to be trading. So we've launched our own news terminal. It's called 247 Terminal. There is a special offer for people who are watching us today. The normal price is $599 a month. However, if you sign up today, you get the first 3 months for $99. You can cancel at any time. And then for as long as you're a member, even if you're a lifetime member, we'll carry on honoring $199 a month, providing that you remain a member. And this is for a terminal that's going to be costing $599. So that's the offer that you guys get today. There's also another offer. If you sign up to Frontrunners today, you get the terminal for 3 months for free, providing you still remain part of Frontrunners. So there's 2 offers for you guys that you can go and use right now to test this amazing product. I promise you it will be the most valuable tool that you actually get in terms of making money. Whenever news breaks, you will be able to trade. And see, I'm addicted to this thing. So now, sending canary files for stay ETF. We take some stay. Yeah, let's do it. Bang. I mean, let's keep that trade running for the rest of the show, just for shits and giggles. We'll check back at it. We'll check back at it at the end of the show. All right. So you now know what news trading is, and how to get it. You can either get it by signing up to Terminal, or you can sign up to Frontrunners. If you do on Frontrunners, 3 months free. If you sign up, as long as you remain in Frontrunners. If not, $99 a month for the first 3 months, and $199 for the rest of your life, as long as the terminal is going. Okay, so that's news trading. Let's talk about news that actually came out, and the news that came out that I actually think is designed to kind of scam you, if you want to do. Does it work with stocks? Not So we've seen some news coming out in the last couple of days, big news, and the big news is around Solana and all the monstrous treasury companies that are launching on Solana, right? This is from Raj. He says Solana digital asset treasuries will be the most monstrous and first principles due to what makes Solana great. Adding it only takes one epic corner for the race to change the lead. And you can see that there's a lot of very excited people around the treasuries, the Solana treasury companies.
Yeah,
and it's no wonder because
it's respecting the high of the orb, though.
When it actually started moving, it's when we started to see that Wall Street money was starting to come in. When Wall Street money started to come into ETH, that is when the ETH price started moving. And a lot of Solana treasury companies. Galaxy Digital, Multicoin, and Jump are raising $1 billion for Solana purchases. Pantera is raising $1.25 billion for Solana treasury companies. And then you've got a whole lot of other announcements around Solana treasury companies. And so, at face value, this is really, really, really good for Solana, right? Well, not exactly. And that's what I'm going to expose you. I'm going to expose you today. And I'm going to expose it at the risk of losing friends.
Order filled.
So, let's talk about why this is not as good as it actually seems. If you understand the lay of the land, what you'll remember is as follows. You've got, when FTX actually went in 2021 and then the cycle in 2021, what you'll remember is that FTX were holding a lot of FTX tokens, right? And those tokens were locked tokens. So those tokens weren't liquid tokens. They were locked
Order
tokens
filled.
with a vesting schedule. And so what the liquidator had to do was the liquidator had to take the tokens and he had to sell the tokens in their locked state to these buyers, right? And the buyers that went out and bought these tokens bought them at a highly discounted rate because the tokens were actually locked. Okay, so FTX offloaded a giant pile of Solana in sales, and the main two buyers that raised vehicles were actually Galaxy and Pantera. Galaxy raised $620 million, and Pantera also raised a lot of money in this. And they sold the Solana tokens at $64 a piece, more or less. And so what you've got is you've got these buyers who went to the FTX liquidator and bought a whole lot of locked tokens. And what they did was they now hold these locked tokens that are unlocking over a long period of time, right? And so the two big buyers that I want to talk about today are coincidentally, or maybe not coincidentally, the same buyers that actually started treasury vehicles. Galaxy Digital on one side and Pantera on the other side. This is where the story starts to get a little bit interesting. So you've got Galaxy Digital and Pantera, both that bought FTX tokens really cheap from the liquidator. Remember, they bought locked tokens from the liquidator. And now, all of a sudden, they're making announcements that they're launching these massive treasury companies, $1.25 billion. And then this one is another one with $1 billion.
Not good.
Of treasury companies. Let me show you what's happening. So you guys are smarter than everybody else. What these guys are doing is they are sitting on a bunch of locked tokens. Let me make this a little bit bigger so that you guys can actually see. But they're sitting on a bunch of tokens. Galaxy bought about 25,500 locked Solana at 1.6 billion. I think it's other earnings.
We gotta decide if we want to get out of this position.
Which I think that Pantera bought more than Galaxy. Anyway, but they bought
This could have been a manipulation candle.
Per token.
Let's watch.
And so they paid like 1.6 billion, 680
This is a horrible entry, by the way.
for these tokens. Now the price today is $190. So they're actually already on the unlocked tokens, the tokens that have already unlocked, 81.5% of the tokens are unlocked. They've already pretty much realized their full investment price. The only thing is that they're still sitting on a big packet of unlocked tokens. I think that Galaxy, if I'm not mistaken, it's the other way around. Let's just see quite quickly.
Come on.
Pantera, Pantera is looking to raise. Okay, so one is Galaxy, one is Pantera. It doesn't matter for the purposes. It doesn't matter if it's wrong. We'll fix it up just now. We should just confirm in the research group that the numbers here are correct. So what you can see is that these guys have already realized they've already got liquid tokens to the value of more or less what their investment was. But the majority of their tokens remain locked. And they start vesting. Some of them will vest in 2025 and 2026. Some of them will vest by 2027. Some of them will vest a bit later. And so the question now is, what are they doing setting up treasury companies? This is what you guys need to understand. The headlines are saying that they're raising $1.25 billion and $600 or $1 billion for treasury companies. But what
Order
they're
filled.
actually doing behind the scenes is that they're taking their tokens, which are currently
We got hit.
and they are moving them into a treasury company and they're getting shares that are unlocked. So it's like a genius way of taking locked tokens and being able to get liquidity now. You give your unlocked tokens to the treasury company as part of the base, and they give you shares that you can sell immediately on the open market. And so you've taken tokens which are locked, and you've created immediate liquidity on them. That is what's going on. So yes, there's like a whole lot of headlines. Oh wow, raising 1.25 and $1 billion for Solana purchase. No, they're not. No, they're not. They say, okay, researchers say that check is correct. Okay, so they check is correct. Okay. They're taking tokens that are locked and they're putting them in a vehicle as locked tokens. The vehicle is buying the locked tokens.
Order filled.
And giving them liquid shares that they can sell on the market now. I mean, you get what's going on here.
Order
They're
filled.
creating a treasury vehicle for their own tokens and getting liquidity out of their own tokens. So that is the scam that's actually going on. It's not exactly a scam. There's nothing illegal about it. It's just not exactly what it seems, right? Because if you look at you can see that every gas station out there,
There we go.
$1 billion an hour, only 300 million is expected in cash, which means it's 7
If we can just catch this one trade, I'll be done for the day.
Only 500 is expected in cash, and 750 million is actually locked tokens. Take your locked tokens, give them to a treasury company, get liquid shares that you can sell, and you've got your liquidity immediately, and you've got amazing headlines that you're basically doing with this. Now there is one more player in all of this, and this is, I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a show about John McCann and how he was supposed to put digital asset treasury company. And one of the funds that he actually allegedly approached, which you can see here in the tweet, he said, there's another Solana digital asset treasury company that will be backed by huge names in the industry, one VC, one trading firm, one asset manager. Here it is, one VC, one trading firm, Jump Crypto, and one asset manager. And he says, yeah, interestingly enough, that VC passed on my deal because they didn't value treasury companies. But it seems like even though they didn't value treasury companies, they all of a sudden value being part of this treasury company. Why would Multicoin, who was so against being part of digital asset treasury companies, allegedly, because we don't know if it is Multicoin that Joe is talking about, unless we do, and we're spoken to Joe.
You might need to exit
Unless
these.
we do.
The Bitcoin one is tempting.
Why would Multicoin be part of this digital asset treasury company, specifically when they are early investors in Solana and actually most of their tokens actually unlocked already? So why would Multicoin be part of a digital asset treasury company? You kind of ask yourself, all your tokens are unlocked. The
No.
majority of your tokens are unlocked. Just unlocked yet.
Dug it out.
What you can see is that the majority of Multicoin's tokens from being part of the original investor group, they've already unlocked.
They're gonna dump
So
this.
why then is Multicoin Capital doing this? Well, if you're a big holder of Solana
I don't
tokens,
know.
and you can see that
I know it's hard to tell
they've got massive tokens
which way it
unlocked
wants
in
to
the future.
go.
What do you do to make sure that these tokens don't destroy the value
There we
of
go.
your Solana holding, right? Well, what you do is you put them into a
There we
vehicle
go.
that isn't forced to sell like a crypto hedge fund.
Boom.
And so if you start a treasury company and you put them into this vehicle, all the tokens
Like the RSI in the fund there.
don't get pushed down in value.
There
all
we
the token
go.
unlocks. And so you see there's a lot more to these
There we go.
news announcements of these $1 billion. Exactly. Shares who says this way unlocks don't lower the price. You got it. You got it. This way, the unlocks go into the treasury vehicle, which isn't going to sell because that's the job of a treasury vehicle, is not to sell. And that's exactly why you've got this cabal of Galaxy, Pantera, Multicoin, and Jump. Now look, I mean, truth is, I probably shouldn't be exposing people like this because this is very, very, very powerful for people in the industry. But I mean, can I just watch this? Can I just watch that these guys are doing what they're doing? I'm not like saying right part out loud. I mean, come on, completely. That's the news. You heard it. I'm
There we
very
go.
bullish about Solana. I love this thing. I'm also very bullish about Solana trading vehicles, but I want you guys to make sure that you understand that there's not $1 billion worth of buying coming into Solana and a $700 million or $500 million coming into Solana. That's not happening. That's not happening. This is what's basically happening. I'm pretty much sure that you guys think. Alright, let's check in with our news terminal again. We've probably missed a whole lot of news while we were talking. Basically, just see what the hell's going on here. Bass, Binance, Wallet, Smart, okay, tutorial, okay, this is not really news, not really news. You see all the news is starting to come out here. You'll keep hearing, and then you can just, I'm $1 down on my save position. I'm going to close it. Just put it in, you need to have a save position.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Look at the speed. The main thing is that this is optimized for milliseconds. The delay was 180 milliseconds. It just shows you how fast you can actually do all this. Someone says it's squeak from your user alerts, is it going? Yeah, it's annoying unless you start making money out of it. Yeah. Someone says Randy's vindicated. It's called out Solana fair play. I've got to call out Solana. Guys, remember, we're setting up a couple of bots. And so in about 20 minutes, there is a Zoom link over here. If you guys if you want to join the Zoom, it starts in 20 minutes, 19 minutes. We're going to be setting up bots, including a bot on World Liberty 5, because I think there's a good trade here around World Liberty 5. Also, I mentioned to you guys yesterday that for me, I've been following the Pinex bots and I've been following the Blowfin bots, the Joseph Lubin and the Bukele bot. Now, for me, I said to you, I think I'm making more money on the Pinex bots. So I said to you today, I'm going to actually close some of my Joseph Lubin bot because he's actually in profit at the moment. I was told he was 20% down. Like, I'm not ruling him out. This bot can actually end up making money, but here we go. I'm going to actually start reducing my investment here.
Oh shit.
I want to reduce. So I want to remove some of my okay, so if he's still going to trade, I'm going to remove the 42,000. Why? Because I want to use that money for the Pinex bots. Because I'm just making so much more money and having so much more fun on the Pinex bots that I'm getting, let me leave 10 grand in. Let me leave, I'm going to take out 40k and I'm going to leave 10k in here. Okay, so that now is going to go. With the Bukele bot, I'm going to wait to see how it does.
Order filled.
And then I'll decide.
Family guys.
Remember guys, if you want the news terminal, special sign up offer $99 for the first 3 months and then $199 a month for as long as you remain a member, even though it's going to be $599. And if you join front runners today, you get 3 months free, providing you stay in front runners, and then you'll be paying $199 for. Actually no, front runners pay $99. Yeah, front runners pay $99 forever. Jeez, that's a good deal. Also, the Zoom workshop happening in 17 minutes if you want to join. Alright chaps, look, I hope that I didn't offend anyone. I wanted to bring it to you because you've got to be able to see through even though it's Solana, even though it's like my favorite token, I have to break news to know this. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my friends.
I've been messing with one of these bots just to see how it does. I've been watching, this is it right here. I just want to mess with it. That's weird. Here it is. Damn, this guy's good. I think I'm good on that one. You can see here the last time I copied someone, they were not good. I think I'd rather just stick to the yeah, I got hit. Jesus, we lost $16. I feel like this wants to break down. I don't know. We did get out of so now you can trade USDC. We got out of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. The fuck? I think I'm gonna try this. Only thing is, it did break out of that trend line. That's why I'm a little bit worried. It did break the trend line. That's why it's a little iffy.
War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Player killing. Quite possibly the darkest endgame activity in Diablo 2. For decades, this game has been home to some of the most creative, ridiculous, and down...
The Clover missile is more powerful than the current version, even though it can only fire a single lead missile in the early stage. But
I think we should try this.
Order filled.
Eliminate all enemies without missing one. It is the best weapon to use in the early stage. Plus, its growth rate is
downright evil ways to ruin someone's day. Glitch exploits to item stealing traps to hacks that can erase your character before you even know what happened.
Not good.
This is the history of Diablo 2's darkest era. Not to be confused with dueling, where players engage
Order
in
filled.
combat. Player killing targets an unsuspecting victim, and the death penalty in this game can be quite substantial. In Diablo 2, you can play in one of two ways: softcore or hardcore. In softcore, dying just means a trip back to town. Maybe you lose some gold and experience, no big deal. But in hardcore, death is permanent. You die, your character, and everything on it is gone forever. Player killing, or PKing, exists in both modes, but in hardcore, the stakes are higher, because the victims don't get a second chance. While the history of player killing goes back quite far, even nowadays it's not uncommon to see the remnants of such tomfoolery all over Battle.net. One of the oldest and dirtiest tricks in the book, the dirty TP. It's a setup so simple yet so effective that even veteran players can fall for it. You're in a party and someone opens a town portal. You click on it, expecting to safely join a comrade in combat, but instead, you die. And PKers still find ways to keep it fresh. A teammate offers to give you battle orders, but their portal is right outside of Harrogath. Watch out. And as funny as some of these PK traps are, they're nothing compared to the darkness of D2's past. Back in the early days of Diablo 2, the game was full of loopholes that PKers were more than happy to crawl through, and some of these were downright absurd. If the first town portal trick wasn't dirty enough, there was another one prior to patch 1.10. If you were in a party and witnessed your teammate doing this, it was already too late. Entering a town portal immediately after throwing an oil potion would cause all players in the immediate vicinity to disconnect from the server. When this happens, your character sits in game for around 30 seconds before dropping due to timeout. 30 seconds was plenty of time for another player to hostile you and then come back to the area and kill you. Around that same time, there was no hostility timer. That's the hidden 10-second timer that prevents players from using a waypoint after hostiling another player. Impossible. So there truly was danger around every corner. It seems like if you die in an instant with this exploit, it was actually one of the slower methods of PKing at the time. Absentee skills were a big problem at one point in the game's history. These are skills with their own AI, or skills that have extremely long casting delays. They would persist outside of town, and they could immediately affect the player if they were suddenly hostile to the player who casted them. Exploits like these made hardcore group play practically impossible back then. But oddly enough, the player-killing exploits of those days weren't exclusive to hardcore. Corpse popping was the most profitable PK trick in Diablo history. Players today think that corpse popping is an in-game scam. The story goes that it's pulled
There we go, look at that,
your
guys.
victim that you know a dupe method, and it involves PKing them 17 times. And that's because the game can only store 16 corpses. So on the 17th kill, you can make them drop all of the items they have equipped. While this story is cute, and I'm sure some poor soul fell for it at one point, it's not historically accurate. Unlike War Thunder, the devs have so much as like wild.
There you go. Hey guys, we are up. Definitely don't want to lose
If you're a new
this.
player or haven't played in 6 months, you'll also receive a massive bonus pack on PC and console that includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive Evil of Valor vehicle to 100,000 silver lions, and 7 days of premium
This way,
counts
here we
available
go.
for a limited time, so be quick.
Boom,
It's the
hit
20th
TP.
use of corpse popping was in patch 1.09, and it wasn't a scam. So
Order
it
filled.
was as a dupe.
I remember there was like the doc or something. People just dropped a bunch
Come on,
of random
baby.
items on your corpse, and then instead of clicking your corpse, getting back your gear, you would equip these random items, and if they kill you again, you would actually drop your real. I remember I lost like half a character like that.
Rob's right.
Order
It's a
filled.
dirty trick
Yeah.
that players would pull in the blood.
We are done for the day.
1.09, softcore players
We got 300 on both those
in case
accounts.
you're not familiar.
And we got
Your dead character that holds all of your items. When most people die,
377
they
on
don't
this
leave the
account.
game.
I
They
think
just go
that's
and get their
good
buff.
for the day.
That is where the tomfoolery happens. The dirty trick was usually
This is
done in
getting
teams of
risky.
two, but it didn't have to be. Players would stack a ton of trash items all around your corpse. Try to pick up the body, you accidentally click on one of the trash items and it would go out. Then, when you actually clicked on the body afterwards, you'd hear the word.
Hold on, guys. Oh, that's a good hit right there. Fuck. Man, it might actually bounce from here, guys. Let's just watch it. It's on the fib. It's on the 382. Could just be a pullback to go lower. I feel like down here is more accurate. You just never know. Oh, what's up, Galwag? Yeah. We got like, we hit, then missed, and then just hit again. We're on Top Step and Apex. We're up like 300-400 on every account, on all the accounts through Apex and Top Step. On crypto, we already caught. We had Bitcoin, XRP, and ETH all the way from the bottoms up to here. Got out of them. And now I entered shorts for ETH and Bitcoin. And they're now in profit. But we were on longs. We caught the bottom on, I had a limit order on Bitcoin. Where's my TP? That blue line's a good TP. I think that's fair. Now we're kind of watching this.
Order filled.
I'm gonna try this. It looks like it wants to wake up from this spot. No.
Order filled.
We got that. It's gonna come down. Wait, it's tapping the VWAP right now? Where's the VWAP? Hold on. Yeah, it's on the VWAP right now. It just broke it. Damn, we should have held the short.
Order filled.
Hold on, guys. It's right on. It's right at that zone. Boom, 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 baby, boom. Let's see how high this can go. Okay, there we go. We're in. Yep, caught that. Caught it. Caught a juicy one. I think this could do it. Now, I don't know if it's going to go all the way to there, but we're going to catch something on this. I knew this would be the sweet spot right there. But we should have held the short just a little bit more. I just wanted to lock in the profit, though. It's all good. Boom. Look at that. There we go. Baby. That means crypto might wake up too. We're taking out Apex to 200, fuck it. Because this is a live account. I just want the $200. I don't even care. That puts us at 500-600. On this one, I kind of want to see. What's up, everyone on YouTube? Now that we want to see drop. I don't like that it made a new. This is the video I just posted. You guys can go watch over on my channel. Right here. It's my market outlook for the week. I'm gonna start doing a Sunday, Monday night video. What I see for the week in crypto. So you guys should definitely be checking that out. We are currently now at 158. That's good. But yeah, just trying to keep building and building. We're getting a nice little pump on this.
Worst phrase you can possibly hear on the battlefield.
I can't carry anymore.
This means that your body was only partially recovered and that you need to clear some space in order to finish picking it up. Basically, there was an item that wouldn't fit on your body because the trash item was there. It also meant that all the items from your corpse that could be re-equipped were. If you got killed again in that moment, it wasn't good. This happened to so many players in PvP, and it was devastating. It wasn't long before the biggest sweeping change in D2 history would end all of this nonsense for good. Or would it? Patch 1.1 was the biggest game changer in Diablo 2.
Yeah, we should have held on
Some remember
Apex.
its patch that introduced Enigma and
So
many
good.
other upgrades, along with adding skill synergies. In this update, which was practically an expansion, many PvP exploits were patched. Players could now have up to 16 bodies, and while that didn't really solve the corpse popping issue, it certainly curbed it quite a bit. Additionally, the no pickup command was added and still exists in the game's 2021 remake. This turned off the player's ability to interact with items on the ground, making it easier to grab your body in a sea full of trash items. Many of the absentee skills were also corrected. Hammers, blizzard, meteors, etc. no longer persisted if the player who casted them went back to town. With all this attention given to the broken PvP scene, more players returned to hardcore. And while these changes made Battle.net seem like a safer place, it was really the start of one of the darkest eras of player killing.
Bro, the level just started. We're already getting overrun. I gotta take these guys out. built his crossbow tower as fast.
Okay.
Hardcore felt safer in 1.10, so the number of hardcore players increased. Unfortunately, this gave PKers an ocean of new players to mess with. There were some exploits.
Order
Close it.
filled.
One PK method used at that time still haunts some players to this day. Towns are supposed to be safe zones where players can't use fighting skills to harm each other. There's even an invisible barrier around towns that prevent attacks from coming in. Town really was the last bastion of safety for players. It was the one place where they didn't have to worry about getting PK'd. That was until some this. There's a glitch that still exists in Diablo 2, and while it isn't very useful nowadays, years ago it was used to kill other players who were being tagged. If a barbarian is the winning player, that player becomes immune to enemy projectiles until they move. In that state, missiles just pass through that player and won't interact with them. If another player's mercenary shot a projectile at the glitched player, the projectile would also glitch out. After passing through the player, it could no longer be stopped by the invisible town barrier. This will allow it to connect with players who move within the safety boundaries of town. This one isn't very well known. Players who did experience it only had their first what-the-fuck death in hardcore. The addition of new emeralds in patch 1.10 came all new exploits involving their use, and while Mosaic builds might be pretty well known for being busted, few builds truly compare to this one from back in the day. Legacy veterans may remember the era of aura stacking, a glitch that overstayed its welcome for many years. This was possible with the new rewards Dragon and Drain. There was a way to continuously apply more and more instances of these auras at once. With the mercenary, it was pretty simple. You'd first equip them with a Drain reward, then you'd use another copy of the item to do this. Placing one of them repeatedly would confuse the game, and it would stack a new aura onto the mercenary every time you did this. These auras could also be stacked on the player. This would be done in the trade screen by continually accepting a trade that you couldn't carry. Every time the trade failed, it would reset your auras, essentially reapplying them. It works in D2 as if you're wearing two items that give the same level 14. So naturally, with this trick, you could achieve aura levels in the thousands, depending on how long you wanted to sit there and do this. The aura did a massive amount of elemental damage at such a vicious range, so if you were anywhere close to a hostile player's screen when they had this exploit active, it was over. But there was one PK method that stood high over the rest, to the point where it defined an entire era in hardcore. TPPK, or Town Poker Player Kill, was the king of all PK methods. While Blizzard might have patched absentee skills, some attacks were considered to be too fast and were just overlooked. Skills like Firebolt, Bone Spear, Arrow Projectiles, and many more weren't fixed in the same way as absentee skills. In the time it would take a player to
Order
open
filled.
the town portal, go back to town, pull up the party screen, and hostile another player, it's reasonable to assume that those attack animations would be long gone and over with. But if you were quick enough, you could do this. While it was technically possible to do this legitimately, most PKers used a program called BMPK, or Blue Moon Player Kill. But these TPPK kills were truly vicious. They came out of nowhere and left players wondering what happened. For 7 years, TPPK and aura stacking went unpatched. But finally, around the time that tokens were added to the game, these things were also fixed. Player killing has taken many forms in Diablo 2 throughout the years, and to this day, D2 remains one of the only ARPGs where you can be the villain. Love it or hate it, something about this Wild West title just hits a little different. Don't forget to show some love to Warthog.
Okay. These are doing well. I knew those would hit. I just knew it. I knew it. Okay. I should have leveraged more on those trades.
And direct on the street. Let's wait for the people to get in. This is just some ugly price action right now.
Okay. I don't know. Might just get out of this. Yeah.
Yo, what's good, guys? What's good? What's good? Sorry. Guys, sorry I'm late, okay? I told you guys I was late. The reason why I'm late is because Tay had meetings today. And you know what? We need to respect Tay. When Tay has meetings, the stream's gotta win. So I have to come on a little later today. I'm back to my regularly scheduled program tomorrow. Okay? Guys, we gotta make it work until I get a house. Okay? We're sharing a studio apartment. She's in the other room. I'm in
Order
here.
filled.
I'm doing the best I can. Are you guys okay with that? I love you all. Guys, if you traded today, I'm mad at you. Whoever's in here, let me. Did you trade today? If you traded today, I'm mad at you. Okay? You shouldn't trade today. It's a bad day to trade. You know what this is called right here, guys? This is called account blowing city. A whole lot of wicks.
Order
a whole lot
filled.
of manipulation. You guys got no business trading today. Did you guys trade? Let me know in the chat. Did you guys trade? I want to know. Which one of you guys traded? Yo,
Let's see.
my brother. Did anybody trade today? If you traded, I'm mad at you. I'm straight up mad. You guys shouldn't be trading today. It's horrible price action. Horrible. Horrible. This is just manipulation. Look at it. We spike these lows. We can't get to the high. The lows. You couldn't make them
No, this is ugly.
Order
We gotta
filled.
get out of this shit.
Bella, did you trade today?
I don't know what it wants to do.
Did you trade? Bella's in the chat. Everyone say hi to Bella. Bella's the best.
This is stupid.
One TG Capper for 80% off at ApexTraderFunding.com. The best platform in the entire industry. Let me. You guys didn't trade, didn't I? You didn't trade. A. Plus profits. How did you do? Did you adhere to your risk management? This is straight manipulation today, guys. This is bad. Good. I'm proud of you, Bella. Very proud of you. I'm proud of you. Good. Nobody should be trading today.
I feel like this is gonna drop.
And Q couldn't make up its mind.
Order filled.
I just feel like this
Gold
is
had this nice little
There we
version. I
go.
marked these out pre-market. Is that the
Order
gold
filled.
strategy? Yeah, it is. I actually had these marked out in the middle of the pre-market because I wanted to see gold go lower, but it ended up reversing. And now gold's running up to the highs. It's funny. I literally had this marked out this morning. I was looking for price to go lower.
There we
And
go.
then,
I knew I
look
could
at
catch
right
this
here.
one.
Nice little play there. I'm gonna keep that marked out. But yeah, I didn't trade today. No trades, guys. I just wanted to come on and say what's up because I love you guys. I love you guys. And I just wanted to say hi. And
But this needs
if
to.
you guys throw the likes up. Look at throw them.
This definitely needs to come down some more. It's coming down to the VWAP. This line right here is the VWAP, by the way. We didn't take it on the apex. Boom. Come on down. I just don't want this to reverse on me. Oh, we're up 500 on this account. I just don't want this to reverse, guys. Selling volume is increasing. Come on. That's when I say this camera closes.
Order filled.
Take that one. There we go. Hello? Yeah.
Order filled.
Alright guys, sorry about that. I was on the phone. But anyways, I got to get going. We're gonna let the Bitcoin and Ethereum shorts keep running. And the rest of it, not really anything I want to trade on Nasdaq. I do think this is gonna drop. I think it's gonna sweep all this. But it's just so back and forth. We'll see. I'm not jumping in it. We're about halfway done with both of the Top Step accounts. And then on Apex, we made 589. So we're at 26, 27 now. But obviously, 2 weeks ago, this account was much larger. We were at like 6-7 grand. So climbing back up, guys. It happens. It happens. Alright, have an amazing day. Hit the like, follow, subscribe. I go live every single day. Go check out my YouTube page as well, All In with Mitch, and TikTok and the Twitch. Appreciate y'all. Marcel, it is going good today. We hit like 500 to 600. Well, I guess this one was 320, and then the other two are like 600. On crypto, we hit the longs on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, and now we are shorting them. So we hit on every account, crypto and Nasdaq. Wasn't like super crazy, but we hit every account. We're in the green. Might have to watch these shorts to make sure they're not going to pop back up and kind of just get rid of them. Alright guys, have an amazing day. Peace out.